And it's a picture of God too, and how he deals with covenant. Take a look one more time. One last flip we're going to make is to the book of, no, it won't be the last time, but one more time. Jeremiah chapter 34. I just wanted to show you God of the Old Testament telling you what he thinks about covenant. So telling Israel what he thought about covenant. Jeremiah chapter 34. I'm going to read from the 13th verse. Thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, I made covenant with your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondmen, saying, at the end of 7 years let ye go every man his brother and Hebrew, which hath been sold unto thee, and when he hath served thee 6 years, thou shalt let him go free from thee. But your fathers hearkened not unto me, neither inclined their ear. And now ye were now turned, and had done right in my sight, in proclaiming liberty, every man to his neighbor. And ye had made a covenant before me in the house, which is called by my name. But ye turned and polluted my name. See that? You turned and you polluted my name, and caused every man his servant, and every man his handmaid, whom he had set at liberty at their pleasure to return, and brought them into subjection, to be unto you for servants and for handmaids. God said, and he reminded them of a part of the Mosaic covenant that said that you couldn't keep your brethren as slaves. They could be indentured servants to you for a limited period of time, for 7 years. But after that 7-year period, you're supposed to release them, even if you didn't feel like the debt that they owed you wasn't paid. You're supposed to do that for their sake, for your brother's sake. And in Israel, for different times, they kept this, but then they kept reverting back to forcing debtors and those who have made promises of indentured servitude, forcing them back into slavery. And God said, you broke the covenant. But he says something else there that, I don't know, it says shivers up my back. You polluted my name. Because this promise between you and your brother was before me, and I considered this as a guarantee that was tied up with my nature and my name. My imprimatur was behind it. And when you turn your back on that, it's like you threw dung at me. You polluted me by not keeping the covenant. That's how God views covenant. Look what else he says. Look at what else he says. This is scary. Therefore, 17th verse, therefore thus saith the Lord, ye have not hearkened unto me in proclaiming liberty, every one to his brother, and every man to his neighbor. Behold, I proclaim a liberty for you, saith the Lord, a liberty to the sword, to the pestilence, and to the famine. I'm going to free you up to trouble. Yeah, you're going to liberate you to some trouble. And I will make you to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. You're going to be snatched out of the land. And I will give the men that have transgressed my covenant, look at that, which have not performed the words of the covenant which they made before me, when they cut the calf in twain and passed between the parts thereof. We'll go back to that. The princes of Judah and the princes of Jerusalem, the eunuchs and the priests and all the people of the land, which passed between the parts of the calf, I will even give them into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of them that seek their life, and their dead bodies shall be for meat unto the fowls of heaven and to the beasts of the earth. Now, this is a This is a play on words somewhat. This is a word picture. He says they broke a covenant. Did these men themselves ever cut animals in part and then walk through the bodies of the animals to cut the covenant? Probably not, because he's talking about generations after the Mosaic covenant has been written. They were the generations that followed after. I don't think they recut covenant for every generation. But he's saying, when your fathers did it, that held on perpetually for every generation that came down the line. It's just like you were the ones who walked through the calf. You made a promise. Well, your granddaddies made a promise. And the promise, I hold it to you. And because you have not kept the covenant, when you proverbially walk through the calf, I'm going to leave your dead bodies, your carcasses out there in the wilderness, and you will become prey for the animals and the birds. You're going to be dead like those dead sacrifices. You're going to be as dead as those animals that got cut to pieces. Because that was what the covenant meant. That's what the picture of cutting that calf in half meant. I promise to do this, and if I don't, may my blood be spilled. God said, I'm going to hold you to it. And I'm going to spill your blood in the wilderness. So, he holds a very high view of covenant relationship. God says covenant is significant to him. And that's what he told the Israelites.